AMZN right now we are really feeling the $90 support zone, with also another support around the $88. So keep an eye out on this spot at this moment. I think this is also another good buy. It's not a recommendation, but I think this is also another good buy because we're below the $90, we're below the $100. If we can, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Well, this is your boy Francis. Welcome to the Trading Success Show. If this is your first time, you are welcome to this channel. Well, we're going to be talking about the market today, and we're going to be talking about different long-term stocks, stocks that I currently have, and some of them I do not have, but planning on picking some up as well. We're going to talk about the levels in terms of trend lines where I'll be watching in the coming days, and the possibility of these stocks going in one direction or the other. But if it does fail, where do you stand? You want to stand at your stop loss, but most cases stop loss are not useful because the market makers, they know where your stop loss really is. If you have any questions, concern, you can email me at tradingsuccessshow@gmail.com. Alright, you can follow me on Twitter or on StockTweet as well. Now, looking at the broader market, don't forget, this is not a recommendation to buy or to sell any stock or equity. This is for entertainment purposes only. Now, the market really did push up into Friday's close, and all of a sudden we started selling off, and also after the market closed we also sold off a little. Okay, so this is the broader look of the close of our market, right? I see like Apple is down, Microsoft is down, Lilly is down, CVX, even Exxon is down, with Walmart at negative 2.33%, and also Amazon 1.4%. Okay, Tesla putting up 3% so far, with AVGO as well as 2.57%. Now, let's take a look at the market in general, see what we're expecting on the S&P 500 ETF. This is your S&P 500 ETF. So what are we looking at? We're looking at different trend lines. We're looking at different levels where the market is expected to go. I talked about it a couple of weeks ago that we will pull back to retest this 200 moving average, and if it doesn't hold the 200 moving average, we will sell off into the 20 or 50 exponential moving average, and that is where we are right now. We actually failed the 200, failed the trend line, failed the 20 exponential moving average, and guess what? Right now we try to bounce off this trend line, which is our support, but then we got attacked at the 20 exponential moving average again. Now, my expectation for the market is for the market to pull back into 390 and then start to bounce off that area. Why? Because it coincides with our moving average and also coincide with our trend line. But guess what? This coming week we have the Fed power, and Fed power is coming into play. So we'll be expecting some form of a reaction right here. If for any reason the market decides to pull lower, we'll be looking at, you know, solid 390 or 385 in the market, and then we can bounce up from that area. But on the upside, well, $400 is that area. If we get to $400, we can easily push into 405, and that is where the resistance will kick in. That's where the resistance will come up, you know, in the market. So keep an eye out on that. Also looking at IWM right now, we have actually failed the 50 exponential moving average. Okay, now we are battling the 178 179 area right now, with our support around 180. So support is 180. If we can reclaim that area, then we can retest the 182 for IWM. But for now, we are really breaking to the low side on this. Find our support right around 177.50, 177. So keep an eye out on IWM as well. Other stock inside this ETF will also react based on what is happening in the general terms. Moderna. Moderna right now we're looking at Moderna in this fair. We're still fighting the 185 zone. That is where we've been really fighting all along, and then we pull back. So look for another support right around this 20 exponential moving average on that name. Also looking at Microsoft. What do we got? Microsoft right now, the 250 is our resistance. That is the spot. Okay, we got close to that spot, but we couldn't break through, pull back, try to reattempt again, but then market closed right. You know, the Microsoft closed right at that 20 exponential moving average. This area coincides with our trend line as well. So keep an eye out on that 245 area as our support on Microsoft. Meta as well, META, which is Meta Platform, aka Facebook. Right now we have actually filled this gap, and that is a good thing for the stock. So right now we'll try to hold every support that we can in order to break out of this downtrend area. See how we broke out of the downtrend to retest this, to fill this gap, but then failed because we need to, you know, pull back to the attempt support. So right now 115 is our support, 116 is our support for now. Keep an eye out on Meta. Square as well. Square right now we're fighting the 20 and 50 exponential moving average for this downtrend break. If we break, then we should be able to push to the upside in a favorable market. Starbucks right now, I don't have any position on Starbucks. I missed my entry right around the $70 area. But for now, for any reason, if this Starbucks failed this trend, we'll be looking at $99 to $95 in terms of support. If that doesn't hold, which coincide with our 20 and 50 exponential moving average, and then this area, this 85, 90 area is where I really want to go long on Starbucks if it comes. So it's not a must. Disney as well. Disney is another name that has been beaten down. So, you know, I know Disney will not just close like that because they have a whole lot of product lines. So right now we have support here, which is our $90 area is our support. If we can reclaim the 20 exponential moving average, which is $96, then we can inch closer to 100. 100 is our break on DIS, so keep an eye out on DIS. Looking at Netflix as well. Netflix, I still have some position around this 180 zone. When we broke out of this area, never look back, right? And then we retest this area, added to my position, and then boom, boom, boom to the upside. So right now these are the trend lines to keep an eye out on if it comes. We're looking at $300 as a support for now, because this stock really always move up and down in a fast mode. So 300 is that area for support for now, looking at the past action. If that doesn't hold, then we can pull lower into 290 or 280 on that name. So keep an eye out on Netflix. NVDA as well. 200 moving average is our resistance, which is that 175 area. So that is our resistance. Right now we're rejecting that spot at this moment. Then we close right off 170. So keep an eye out. If this area continue to fail, if this 170 fail, then we'll be looking at price back into 165 or 160, which also coincide with our trend line and also our 20 exponential moving average. So keep an eye out on NVIDIA. I think that name is also solid. Apple is another one. I know with the semiconductors and all that, and Apple with the issue in China, right now I think 140 is our support, with room into 145. If 145 breaks, then we can, you know, inch higher. We'll still have problem with the 50 exponential moving average, but I'll be looking at 150 in the coming days, in the coming weeks to come on Apple. But overall we are back into support, which is this 140 area. So keep an eye out on Apple for another move to the upside as soon as things settle with China. AMZN right now we are really feeling the $90 support zone, with also another support around the $88. So keep an eye out on this spot at this moment. I think this is also another good buy. It's not a recommendation, but I think this is also another good buy because we're below the $90, we're below the $100. If we can inch above $100, I think we can settle back into the upside. So keep adding to that portfolio, keep holding that portfolio, and we should be good on Amazon. PayPal, PYPL also is another name to keep an eye out on. See, in November, so look at the reaction in November. We got to this point, this trend line, and all of a sudden we bounce without looking back right into 200 moving average, only to reject 200 moving average back down to retest that level we bounce off from. Right now, this area is our area of consolidation. This area is our area of support, so keep an eye out for the next move on PayPal as well. Looking at Square as well, we already talked about Square, so keep an eye out as well on those names. We're talking about Tesla as well. This area 190 is our resistance. We just didn't get to that spot as I anticipated, because I was looking at 185 186 area as a resistance. So I took some calls and got out of my position right into that 80, let me see, right 82 83 area. Because we just couldn't go further and the market started pulling lower. So I took out my position and I entered another puts position, and all of a sudden we closed right around 179. So I'm still holding my puts. I think in the morning I will try and get out of that put position in anticipation for the bounce. Right now we're gonna have problem with the 20 exponential moving average, which coincide with this downtrend as well. We need to break this downtrend for Tesla to have a direction on that name. Looking at Snap with Twitter and all that gone private. Snap right now we're at $9.45 close. This area $9 is going to be our support for now, so keep an eye out. We have this inverse head and shoulder because this is also another bullish pattern as well, having this inverse head and shoulder, so long as the right side holds very tightly. So we're back to support, and I'll be looking for more to the upside into $10 or $10.50, and with room right into $11.50. So keep an eye out as well on that name. We're looking at BABA. This is a Chinese stock, Alibaba Group. Right now we're fighting the 200 moving average. This $95 is going to be the next target in terms of price action, but we need to clear this 200 moving average. So once we clear this, we should be all right to continue to push right into 105. So keep an eye out. When the stock was around 65 $70, I said I was going long because I'm expecting some action to come in, and we did come in into this action, and any pullback right into this trend I will be adding in terms of long-term hold. JP Morgan as well. Right now we're holding 135 as a resistance with 130 as a support. Right now our fight is going to be the 20 exponential moving average, so keep an eye out on that area. CROM, this also says false. Right now we're looking at price action right in this trend. So if price really hold this area as a support, then we should be able to push back into 145 143 area and then looking up. So right now I think this area is holding as a support for now. We're just consolidating in this area. We consolidate and we bounce. I should be all right. I would like that stock to really bounce off that zone. DXCM as well, we sold right off into this trend line with support right around the 20 exponential moving average, 115 115. So keep an eye out on that area as a form of support. GME, this GME GameStop, right now we failed this support, and I'm looking for support now again right around this area right here, $22. So this $22 is going to be our support for now, in anticipation of another retest of the $25 zone, but keep an eye out as well. Also, the one that I really play nicely was the AMC. There was a momentum push that came up and came in, and all of a sudden the stock really pushed right into this 200 moving average. So what I decided to do was to pick up an $8 puts on this name, and guess what, the stock really shoots right up into the 200 moving average, rejected it, and the next day we put up a doji pattern because we just couldn't go then. I anticipated the pull but lower on those names, so I started taking some position off as we got into support, the 20 and 50 exponential moving average, and the rest I just left the rest into the next support, which is $6. So I got out of the $6 with some decent amount of profit. VROTX as well, another name to keep an eye out on. 20 exponential moving average is our support, but we failed that area. So the next spot is going to be 310. 310 is going to be our support. If it doesn't hold, guys, then we can retest just like we've been doing in the past price action. So 307, 308, keep an eye out on that area as well. We're looking at Boeing as well. Boeing with contracts coming in from, you know, different angle on Boeing. I think Boeing will really push out of this zone. So, but support for now is 175. That is our support on Boeing. ABBV just keep giving and giving. Right now we're looking at 165, 167.50 as our resistance. But then we fell right into 163. That was a decent move to the downside. Right now look for support around 163 on this ABBV, so keep an eye out as well. And finally, not finally, but I will also post the rest of my stock tweet and Twitter account. Google as well. Google, right now we have Google what we call the inverse head and shoulder. This is the left side and this is the right side. So if we can hold this 92.50 area, okay, if we can hold this 92.50 area, I think we can bounce off that area in terms of inverse head and shoulder. So keep an eye out on Google for a bounce off this area. But if $90 comes, I will be happy to add to my long-term portfolio. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.